Hi guys. I actually have something cool right here. So this is plexamp, which is a way of playing your music through Plex, and they have an iOS app. They have iOS, Android, Mac for Silicon, Apple Silicon, and also Intel Macs and Windows. And so what you can do is basically if you have a Windows computer with touchscreen, you could make a full screen touchscreen um, touchscreen karaoke box. So basically, and you can attach speakers to the side of the TV and stuff. That's something you could do with this, or you could basically um, just run in the background as your Spotify replacement. So I just get a whole bunch of non-copyrighted music, put it into a Plex, um, put it onto a Plex server. So you can put this onto your main Plex server and use it as your Plex thing. But everything that shows up in Plex, even if it's like something you don't want to share, so it's just like your personal music collection and you don't want to have access to your main Plex server, I have a Plex server running over there, which is in this case looks like it's pointing to my right, but it's actually to my left, and the camera's just flipped. And so basically, there's like a running over there with movies, TV shows, and stuff like that. I have a Plex server running back there, run just for music, and so I loaded up Plex Amp and I ran it on here, and so let's just say that Plex server over here goes down and um or someone's using it just for showing video and I don't want it to so basically use more power just for playing music and I wanted to have just a playing music server, you can have that one connected to your music server and that one over there connected to your videos and TV shows. And you can even have one for Plex can do actually pictures and the video. And so I'm not gonna play anything because of the music I have is copyrighted because of how I got the music was I bought it on iTunes. I I bought it in the highest format possible on iTunes, and then I re-encoded it to the highest lossless file, which is MP3, 3200 kilobits per second, and then I to get rid of the DRM that iTunes has on there and I put it into Plex onto the Plex server, and I made my own the one that just says music library. And I have it so when I have a watch folder with all my music on there, and so Plex will scan every 12 hours just so I can have it scan every hour or every 5 minutes just in case something new gets added there occasionally, and I basically can just have it added there. And so you just have to make sure you have your Plex set up, and you just have to make sure it's running. And I'll show you um, how it is. So okay, over here is the Plex thing. This the only thing this computer's being used for anyway right now is only thing it's being used for right now is a print server because of it needs it's printing from my iPad, and so here is just the Plex server is running right here. You just have to download Plex. So go to your web browser. Any web browser will do. I usually use Firefox, but since I don't have Firefox installed on here, I don't even have the start bar installed. I wanted to like use less performance as possible. At least I wanted to have the most performance usable because right now the CPU, if you look at it with the Plex running in the background, the Plex Media Server, it has to be the Plex Media Server, not the Media Center. So if you go look right here, the CPU's at 100% usage because of I have um well it was because I had um Edge open, and this is only an Atom with 2 gigabytes of RAM. So I'm maxing out on RAM basically right now. And the only 2 things that are running on here is the drivers. That's one thing that's necessary, and the print server, which is necessary. And since it just sits there just for print server stuff, I thought I could put it to use for playing music. So, because I usually use Foobar 2000, and since I usually have Foobar installed on my phone, my on the Mac that I'm recording on, and also on a Windows PC, I basically um, I installed 3 different times, but right now I just have to install plexamp, and I can just have the same music control on there. And the only reason I'm not using FuFuBar on this computer is because I don't have a Stream Deck plugin for actually Mac OS, so I can basically add in the FuBar buttons on the Stream Deck. So let me just show you. So basically, you have to go type in here Plex. If you type in Plex, you get the first link with the streaming movies and TV shows. If you're a Plex Pass holder, which is like around like so for one time a month, it is for 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 a payment once a month. It's $4.99 for every 12 months. It is $35, and for lifetime, it's over $100. Like I paid $119. They usually go on sale, so it can go down to 75 actually bucks. So then you have to go to where it says download after you have a Plex Pass, just to make sure you get Plex Amp for free, and you can either pay monthly or yearly or once, and you wouldn't have to pay again. But you also get the Android app. You get a couple other applications for Freshlyplex, and you also get the DVR feature, which is with Plex pass holders. Um, you also get to play console game. You also get to play actual games on Plex, and that's with another subscription. But basically, you go to download, then go to media server. And then once you go to media server, wherever you're running the media server on, as long as you have FlexPass, you will have this right here. It'll give you the latest versions. So right here is all your options for servers. So you can run on FreeBSD, Linux, Mac OS. So this including still Silicon Mac and also Intel Mac, Windows 10, Windows 7 for now until the next update, and Windows 11, Windows 8 still works. Um, then you can get on Asator NAS, which is any Asator ARM slash Intel based one, and you would have to basically you have to disable PHNP, which will automatically forward port for you, because of it will turn it on and you can be hit with the deadbolt if you're using a store. Drobo, they have a Drobo NAS, haven't used it, but they're mostly known for their DASs, but it works on Drobo. FreeNAS, which is your custom OS, which is now known as TrueNAS or TrueNAS Core. The Netgear, they don't make those anymore. Well, they're way underpowered for what you want as a Plex server. And there's QNAP, same as that issue as Store, but they're really good hardware. Seagate, they don't make those anymore mostly. And there's Synology, which are the NAS of choice these days if you are planning on opening up the NAS to be connected to be connected anywhere. Because if you are planning to connect the NAS anywhere from anywhere in the world back to NAS, you don't want QNAP and you don't want ASUS. But if you're just planning on having it on your network non-connectable, then you just forward flex, then that's fine. Synology hasn't had that issue yet. TerraMaster, really, they don't make those anymore. Thecus, haven't used that one. Unraid, like FreeNAS, it's a custom OS. Western Digital 3.3 and 5.0, which is just Western Digital, those work really good. They have the same issue as don't connect the NAS outside network. Don't forward port the ports. So pretty much any NAS, you don't want to forward port them so they're accessible outside the network. This includes any computer in general, because they can be um because they can be what's that called they could be hacked basically. Then other options, which is Docker. So Docker is a software that can run on any of these devices, and 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 it's just using Docker Compose, or you can use Yacht to like automate this. As long as you have Docker Engine / Docker.io installed. But so with whatever OS you're on, you press download, and then if you have a 32-bit, it will automatically download 32-bit for actually Windows, or if you're 64 for Windows. For same with the Linux, Mac OS, the only option is 664 / ARM based. If you're using a Intel Mac, it'll be 64. If you're using an Apple Silicon based Mac, it will be it will be it will be ARM based. And most of these are ARM based. So once you download it, you basically download it, install it, click next, add your um you actually click your actual um you click your shares that you have you click your shares that you have your media and music in, and then just share it, and then you click on next, and it will add it. It'll take a while depending on how fast, how much CPU you have. If you have a 6 core or 12 core CPU, it'll go super fast. If you have a two dual core CPU, it'll go pretty slow, and it depends on how much media you have and how fast your SSD is. If you just have an SSD, a small SSD, it'll be slower. If you have a bigger, faster SSD like an NVMe, it goes super fast. And then after that, once that's installed and sets up the way you like it, you can share it with your Apple TV or whatever. And now you go back here on the computer or phone. On the phone, you just go to the Google Play Store and download um, plexamp. On iOS or from Apple Store, you go download plexamp. On Mac OS, you download plexamp from actually there, or you can just get it from actually the plexamp website. And then right here, you can just click here. Because if you just click here, it'll take you here. And then this will tells you how to get it. So iOS, you go to the iOS, the App Store. Android, go from the Google Play Store. Mac OS, you actually can download it here for /Intel. For Windows, you download it here. For Linux, right here, you can get it from the FlatHub store. And then for headless, you can get this right here. And this is if you want to run this on a Raspberry Pi. And yeah, that's all you need to know. Then install it. Then you can basically play music. Then you can play some music from any device. I mean, from your device from the server. And so, if you want to make it even better, make your own Flex server that is mainly that's doing so, and you make a low power Flex server like a Atom CPU and with 2 gigs, 4 gigs RAM, and then have it be headless and make sure it's doing something other than just playing its music. For example, I'm using this computer here that you're seeing right now to run to run a print server for my iPad and also my other Mac devices. So I can print from my Macs wirelessly to there to my print server to my printer. What I wanted to do was hook this print server up to my I went to hook the printer up to the computer, but printing from my Windows PC so on the computer was kind of a pain in the butt, and it didn't work. And yeah, so I just am printing from the printer. I'm just printing from the printer. I'm just printing from the Windows PCs to the print server, which is over here, and I'm printing from the Mac, which to there, which prints to there, which prints the printer, and also printing from iPad too. So yeah, I hope that is something you like, and I hope it can help you. And the only reason I did that was because I actually needed to restart or it wouldn't be available for actually printing anymore. And so after all that setup, you have this right here, and you end up basically can play music. And so I would just have Plex scan every 12 hours. Just so if you do add music, so if you add music like every hour. I mean, every 5 minutes or like every hour. Have it scan every hour. If you have it scan, if you add music like every 12 hours or every hour or like at times you don't add a lot many times. Just have it scan less frequency so it doesn't just spike the CPU usage for like when you need it. So and then basically make sure um you know what the tracks are and they're properly named. I actually named most of these properly, and so they just appear under. Because what I can do is because some of these albums are named properly, some of them are not, and what I could do is make it so all of the one artist appear under one artist name and all the other artists appear under the other artist names because right now it's split up based on the what the artist is and who they made the track with because I have mixes and other stuff and the mixes are the one that does that but the single artist actually depends on the album too of the artist if they have different versions of like the album they release the albums in like separately. So yeah. So thanks for watching uh, this video. I hope it was helpful, and I know it was something that was kind of on my to-do list for this. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.